Hey, how's it going? I have some cards. Whoa, and I have some words. So the words are I was on well, first of all, my problem that I've been talking about with the stowaway the stowaway in my phone, that I got some help. After asking actually for quite a while, so long, and not getting any response. And by the way, concurrently, while I'm trying to ask for advice or referral for information to help me deal with the problem that I had, because I was doing the typical things that you're supposed to do first, everything in the correct order, go to the resource at the place that you're dealing with and go, I have this problem. So I did all the things, and I just was not having success because of the nature of the problem. And I repeatedly, over a period of a couple of years, asked for help, and did not ever ask for money, and because that's not what I'm after. And I hate it when people ask for money for something that, I don't want to be asked for money in instances. So I felt like I was taking pains to be easy to help, not overtaxing the ask. Apparently I was, though, because the reaction that I would consistently get was none. And yet I could look around my area on the social media, literally look around at other posters also having issues and making pleas for assistance, financial assistance, and that's all their whole account was about. Or just people also with problems getting help and lots of answers back. I don't want to say attention, because I don't want it to sound like I'm doing it just for the attention. It does not at all what I was ever wanting to do. I just was asking for help with my specific problem, and I even laid out what the problem was. So it was just weird, that I wasn't getting help. I didn't understand why it was. I mean, I did and I didn't. But even understanding it does not make it okay, because I don't give a shit about that. I need help. But I did finally get help. And oh my gosh, so easy, but it's things that I didn't figure out either because I was too upset for it to just come to my brain, or I just don't know because I don't know computers good. I'm not even trying to. I want to be able to go, here, what is this? What's wrong with it? And usually I can, but this was a different, more, for me, dire situation. But I did get the help, and I'm so happy, so that's out of the way. But I have invented, for my own purposes really, because no one has really responded to it in particular either, but people didn't run away and flee when I say stuff on the other platforms. So I'm not missing them, or even thinking about going, well, yes, I am missing them. I am missing the reception, because even if no one responded or looked at stuff, I didn't come back, go away and come back and find myself multiply blocked and unfollowed. So that's what happened on Blue Sky, where I had asked for help, and I asked the wrong way, for people, and that was when there have been times when I have gotten blocked and followed. I know that, and you can see where you can see who's gone, like if they were around regularly. And often I'll say something and know that it's at the risk of losing whoever, but at the same time, that's kind of more of about a blow to my ego, because very few people on there do I know personally, so it's kind of silly to get too upset about people leaving that, you really don't know them. Like, acquaintanceship is not sharing likes and reposts, that is talking to one another and, investing interest and giving and listening, and it's an energy exchange and it's a cooperative thing. The other thing is not. That is more of like an ego suckhole. So, when it happened on Blue Sky, I did something that I never do, which was go back and go, wow, oh my god, I can't believe that I got blocked and followed, and by so many people, like, and then that didn't, that didn't go over well, and I lost more people. It was like, wow, tough crowd. But, I also mentioned, which is something I never do, was that it hurt me, like, after, here's the thing, like I started to say at the beginning, I started calling, I invented a thing called the Ministry of Unpopular Remarks, and I'm the person at the head of the ministry making the remarks. But I know when they're going to offend people, and I'm not saying it usually anything at any time. Oh, I can't say that. I'm usually not saying stuff with the intention to just offend people. Like, there's like a reason. I have like a message in what I'm saying. So, I was talking today with my caregiver and just kind of working through this, because it is something that has happened my whole life. Like, I noticed a pattern when I was still pretty young, and it's just been like, I can look at it now and look back at it over the years, over the period of time that I've been alive, where I've seen different versions of this play out. And it was just through talking to this woman today that I kind of worked through my own issue with it. So the recurring theme that is in my life for a reason, and this was another thing that did not go over well with people, was that I just kind of announced that, like, I have a mission, I realize it, and my discomfort with the Ministry of Unpopular Remarks and well, actually, I don't mind that. I think it's funny, but the blocking and unfollowing, especially this last time, it was like, over all of the time that I've been kind of going through these things, which I was just about to talk about, and I will go back to, is that I just have had to, like, stiff upper lip it, and everyone has, I realize that, and I'm not asking people to feel sorry for me, but that is definitely how I am getting, that's what the response back is feeling like, is that people think, you're just feeling sorry for yourself, you're not even worth, they can't even just say that, it's like, you're not even worth listening to, and you're bad, and everybody, look at how horrible this person, because so many people left in a block, like a BLOC block. It was crazy, and it hurt. It hurt my feelings. I have them. I'm not impervious to things. Like, I have emotions. I'm not trying to be Superwoman, but I also know that things are not going to go well, and hence the Ministry of Unpopular Remarks, just to kind of take the sting out of it. I don't know if it's for me or for whoever reads it, but man, people are taking stuff like way more seriously at Substack. And I think it's a combination of things. I think it's the thinning of the veil right now, and everyone's sensitivity is high, and, they also felt like an attack was happening, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm the one with all the spears sticking out of me. But so I said that I knew that I had a mission. Like, I have a mission. I have to do this. And it turns out that's like one of 2 places now. Oh, no, I take it back. 3 places that I have going where I can express myself. WordPress, YouTube, and Substack. And that didn't go over well. Because I said I'm just going to do what I have to do anyway. But I realized that I am a catalyst. Someone pointed it out to me, but I had noticed it, and I just didn't frame it in that way. But at that time, I was like just gaining sort of my awakening knowledge and experience. So that's been about 10 years, not quite, and it's just now like everything is sort of making sense to me on a personal level. Like, I am an active participant in this thing, this awakening lightworker thing, and but I'm also realizing what is happening, and also awakening too with everybody else. So, but as I'm saying it, I feel like I'm under a heat lamp. Like, I have a lot of, feels like whatever energy coming off of me. But so what I jeez, I gotta find a better thing for this holder. So the thing that I started to say earlier was that in my life, the need for help has been sort of a theme, and I realized as I was talking to this woman, my caregiver, that, because I know everything that happens for a reason, and that was always kind of mysterious. Well, here's the reason, so we can, experience it, have feelings about it, understand as much of the dynamic of why it happened, like how every response you make is going to have a definite effect, and so you might want to think before you act more, and because that's a way of you having more control sort of over how things play out. Like if you go somewhere all mad and acting crazy, how do people act? Do they act like they want to help you, or do they act like you're a problem and they want to get rid of you? And so, as time goes on more and more, I don't think people would believe this, especially in Substack, but I'm very conscious of what I'm going to say. Like, I am well aware that what I'm saying is going to have an impact. And I'm now intentionally embedding every message that I'm saying with deeper, like, meta information. And it's not necessarily something that you're going to hear on the first listen. And I'm not saying you have to go back and watch something over and over, because it's in your head. And if you are receptive to it, then it's going to trigger things in you. But things that were already meant to be happening, like, not triggered like the pejorative way it's used a lot, just to sort of like help like flip a switch that was already there, waiting to be flipped, meant to be flipped. And as a catalyst, that's how it happens. And so, having said that, I realized that that's what that was, with like the response with the blocking and the unfollowing. And I said the other day that I think there's a level of insecurity involved with the people, because I don't know specifically why. And I know that could come across vain. I don't mean it that way. I'm just saying that I think that that's what happened. I'm describing what I think happened. It's not about my ego, me. Like, I'm not trying to. I hope not to operate on that level if I can much, because it's not clear seeing, and I don't want to be talking to you all up in my ego. So, yeah, I'm just like really taking it on and knowing that I have that effect on people. So when I am writing or saying something, there's a responsibility there. So the help thing. So that's what I was just, like, I kind of worked that out while talking to the caregiver. Like, everything I just said to you was sort of already there but unformed the way I just articulated it. So yay, that was like a breakthrough. Thank you for joining me. And I'm sharing it with you because, not that you'll do it in the exact same way, but I may inspire or trigger another person that is a light worker maybe, or whatever, for whatever reason, in a positive way, I hope, because that's my intent. But so the help things where basically I think, and I wrote about it before in my WordPress, and I have to go back and look at what I wrote, because I wonder if I'm saying the same thing as I did then. But anyway, right now, today, I'm describing the sort of sequence of events that was noticeable. So when I was a kid, my dad was not like the most responsible guy, pardon me, and his family knew it, and so his siblings were enlisted by my grandparents to help my mom to take care of me. And then, like, when my grandparents passed, then, like, my aunt was the responsible one, and then I had an uncle who just talked to talk, and then when I actually needed the help, he like tried to run from it, but his fiance at the time kind of like made him be honest, because it wasn't just, I just had like one responsible aunt out of an aunt and three uncles, and my dad. So I guess he would have been one of the three. Anyway, she made me aware of something, and I wasn't aware of it until she said it. But I did notice that when my grandpa died, I no longer had the tuition to go to parochial school, to Catholic school. So that was a form of help that went away. And that was like, that was like a gift, but it's also something that, like, as a generational Catholic family at that time, which was the 60s, that's what was done, like, my grandfather was a member of the Knights of Columbus, which is some kind of, I don't know if it's like the Freemasons, but it's a group that men attend, and I guess it's something like along those lines, but it's Catholic based, and something to do with that group helped him pay my tuition at the Catholic school. So it's like all linked. But when he passed, like, that ended, and then my grandmother was still around, and she took care of me a lot, but she died when I was pretty young, so I guess my aunt made me aware that she and my uncles were supposed to look out for me and my mom, like, because they knew my dad was not going to live up to his responsibilities, and he proved them right. So that kind of, over the years, it became like, I don't know. Actually, I don't know what happened over the years because no one really talked about it. But later, as an adult, I got ill in my 20s, and then I went to my aunt to stay, and that's when she kind of let me know that, like, she resented, like, having to help, because she greeted me at the door with, "Oh, did you come here to die too?" Because my grandfather and my uncle had, and it was like, I really am not going anywhere to die, but, I mean, she opened the door and let me in, and I was like, thanks? Yeah. So it was in that moment that I kind of got a clue, and then she said other things later that was like, I didn't realize, although I could have put it together, I didn't realize, like, that my grandparents had told them to do this, like, take care of me, and because by the time it got to their generation, like, you were so busy taking care of your own stuff, helping other people was like a choice. And I also gathered that it was one she didn't really want to do anymore, because I had, I was getting pretty old. But her husband, on the other hand, had not lost the, he still wanted to help. So, family dynamics are weird. So that was like, help is like a double-edged blade, or sword, whatever you want to call it, or asking for it. And by the way, I loathe asking for help because of that incident, which is kind of a big one because she was my favorite relative. But when I learned how she really felt, I was like, oh, wow, okay. And so, because, I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask for help. I didn't ask for her to, put herself out in any way. She certainly could have, and I did wonder why this, too, because I was going to say, she could have just not invited me to things at her house and put me out like she did with other relatives, or my dad's family, my whatever, family dynamics are weird. And then, other times in my life where, I needed a job, and there was a place in LA that was like a hipster store, and I knew people that worked there, and my bandmate worked there, and so she sort of got me in the door there, or she totally did. I had to apply and everything, but I got the job. And then, I forgot, there were 3 owners of the store, partners, and one of them was also in our band, so I'm sure that helped. But the third partner did not want me there, and then he had someone that he worked really closely with that became the manager right when I started there, and they just hated me. They tried everything to get me to leave, short of firing me. And they already were there when I started, and I had never met them or heard of either of them before that, so they already did not want to help, I'll put it that way. So that was another time that help came with a kick in the ass, I guess. I'm just naming a few, but over my life, there's been many times when that happened, and I'm not saying then or now, I've never been, why does this keep happening to me? I just am kind of when it's your favorite person and they say that, and it's it's ingrained in you that you have these feelings of love for this person. It's not that easy to just be all detaching from it. It's very strange. there's so many things I admire about this person, and they're like, yeah, but I don't like you. And it's like, damn, they're in your family, and then they're not the only one, and it didn't seem like it was that way, and then it all of a sudden, like, everybody is that way, and it just makes you feel like, was I ever talking to anyone's genuine self? Okay, so now I have a different state of mind, well, I think about it differently. Like, I can kind of go, okay, that hurts, and you do have to feel the feelings, or at least I do. Like, I don't know how to get rid of them. I guess I've done it sometimes, but this is harder. Like, I don't seem to be able to just shrug it off. I must have, like, gotten more empathetic or something, but I'm understanding now that it's all part of, like, the mission. Like, they're happening to me because in the pre-life blueprint that I made, this is all stuff that I wanted to experience. So now I'm looking at it more like that, like, oh, okay, that gives it a whole other perspective. Like, from my point of view to how I perceive the point of views or reactions in return. And, like, even from the last time I talked about it, which was yesterday or the day before yesterday, I can tell that my attitude about what happened after I made my plea of help and just said the wrong thing to a person that took particular offense, and then a lot of people followed this person, and like I said, places I didn't ever even interact with, I came back. Like, every time I come back, I can tell, like, with things have changed. Like, damn, I did it again. That's the thing, though. Every time you send someone away from you, they left for a reason. The reason may not entirely be you. Like, you may have catalysted something in that person. And I don't often get the experience of the person coming back as the individual that's since been changed. Like, to my knowledge, that has not happened, but I now understand and really feel like is the case more than just intellectually like I did before. Like, now I really am feeling like I don't feel, I mean, I feel bad if I offended someone, because that was absolutely not my intent, but I also understand that is probably a temporary emotion. Like, I may never hear from these people again, but they may at some point, like, change their perspective about what I said and what happened and how they reacted, and then they may put it to their own experience and apply it in a way that is helpful to them, that, like, it will unlock an insight or something. And I think that's amazing if you can do that. And we all do it all the time, but I don't know that we're all aware that we're doing it. And so awareness and intent make a big difference. And then also, like, whenever you do anything, like, if your intent is to just be mean and hurtful, that's something. That's not what I'm trying to do. So I just wanted to share that. I did pull some cards, and they're from the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck, and I got this here card, Fortune's Wheel. Why did you have to go flying away? Oh my gosh. I was watching season 2 of Star Trek, Brave New World. Is that what it's called? The one with Anson Mount. And, Mound. Shh. Anyway, I was watching it, and Nurse Chapel was coming out of a coma, and Spock was kind of like, he was distressed, and so I guess he was like raising his voice, and he was like shaking her a little bit, and she opens up her eyes and she goes, "Why you gotta be so rough?" And it wasn't until like the episode was over that I realized, wait, what did she say? Why you gotta be so rough? Do you hear that grammar? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I don't think it's correct, but a lot of people talk that way, and it's just like language. Why can't I think of the dang word? Well, anyway, language from a different culture than hers has crept into that script, and I just thought it just tickled me. I loved it. I don't know why that interrupted here, but Fortune's Wheel. The subtitle is Luck and Right Timing. Wow, I wish I knew what that actually refers to. I know that right now, God, those protests, they're only showing the ones in LA, largely. I don't have television, so I'm not really sure what network TV is doing. But I'm getting, if you're gonna do that, you gotta like, okay, you gotta like be lucky and in the right place at the right time, or like you'll have luck if you're in the right place at the right time. Oh, okay. So the trouble I was having is you can't give yourself luck, but you actually can, because you can inform you. Okay, I'm getting to it. You can inform yourself and safely attend a protest or a rally, I guess, whatever you're going to, where there's a lot of people. So you don't want to go someplace where you're boxed in and you can be corralled, or snipers, I guess, are something to be concerned of, because what happened like in Las Vegas at that country festival, and even at the rally of Trump's where he with the sniper, the first one, and so it's interesting that earlier today I posted on my page here on YouTube in the post section a post from a public defender, and she gives you a really good advice about how to, as safely as possible, attend one of those rallies. So that's a little quinky dink for you. I always think that this looks like a Wheel of Fortune type thing, and the thing that I like about, like, it does look like especially with the golden lights, sort of like that this is silhouetting. I don't know if that's right, but you have all of these chances to make a bright spark, to show up as a bright spark. There we go. That makes more sense. Okay, this card, I'm going to the eye doctor soon. It's my eyes going bad season. This happens about every year and a half. Joyful Music is this card. Oh, it's got the 33 at the top, which you can associate with spirit. That's funny. I was watching a video earlier, and I have a friend that plays guitar, and his cat likes to just, I'm sure you've seen YouTube videos of people with animals, and their animals just love the music. So this guy had made like a dobro, which is like a metal guitar, but the guitar body was like a gas can, and that thing sounded amazing. But the animal that was loving the music was a little squirrel, and it would sit on the the flat part of the top of the gas can guitar body and sort of quiver and wiggle and run around a little bit excitedly, and then it just started like going in his shirt and going on his head, and it was just like the guy's just jamming, playing some slide guitar, and the squirrel is going nuts. It was so cute. But yeah, joyful music. The subtitle here is inspiration. So, you know, the thing about inspiration is, do you know that it literally means like idea from spirit? Like your creativity is inspired by something spirit sent you. Which, like, don't think that doesn't make it your own creation too. It still is, because you're handed the inspiration, but then it's up to you to create it. So that sounds like fun to me. And I look how happy the cat is too. Like, I don't know. I when you get like an idea, don't you get kind of like pepped up? Okay, so the next card is Stranger, and the subtitle is Curiosity. So this guy, like, I would equate this to, in the tarot, I would equate this to the Magician card, because he's obviously doing some kind of ceremony here, and like, here's this beautiful, like, well-looking thing, but it's obviously like in a cave or something. It's like dark where he is in there, in some places, because I think that, like, the way in is like over here behind them, so there might be like light showing from outside, but it's got little bowls, and maybe he's waving something lit around in a circle, if maybe that's what that is. Or it could be like little fiery looking orbs sort of coming out of him or drawn to him, or he's creating them through whatever he's doing. But it says curiosity, so maybe he's like sort of reading the future in the water or something like that, or in the bowls. Like maybe he's got tea leaves down there or something. You'd be surprised when you could find people doing readings off of on YouTube. I saw a lady that had like seashells, and she was getting all kinds of information from them. And sometimes I can tune into stuff, but that day I was like, man, I ain't getting nothing but shells. But curiosity. Yeah, he's seeking. A seeker is curiosity embodied. So this guy has either sought or been like brought into it from like family to do this like shamanic work, but it's all about seeking, and that implies a curiosity. And sometimes you're seeking a cure for somebody who's ailing in some way, or you know, they want to know, like, what is the crop going to look like? Is there something they should watch out for? Is there going to be bad weather? Like, I feel like they're in there, they don't necessarily have to be doing it for themselves. They're in there, like I said, like, possibly doing it for someone else. Like, that's what it feels like. Oh, so, yeah, that is maybe something we could do, all of us, for each other. It'll look different for everyone, I would imagine. Not everyone is going to be like, I am a, you know, magician or shaman or practitioner of some kind of esoteric thing. A lot of times you're just doing things, and they come from a tradition like that, and you don't even know it. You don't even realize that you're doing it. That has been my experience many times. I'll do something, or like just start making something, and then I'll soon afterward find out, oh my gosh, this is a thing. Like, I'm doing something that's like an actual process that exists, or yeah, it's crazy. It's fun. So this card is a Deep Quiet. Oh. Wow, okay, so that's interesting. Oh, okay. This is another card with somebody doing something, and I thought that it was, this shape was like a person seated doing some sort of ceremonial thing. But then I saw here there's like a little wisp of something coming out of what I thought was a head, like somebody's head. And then as it's going back, I see the shape of a shaved head with a white goatee and mustache and white eyebrows and shoulders, and so sort of at a 3/4 angle, so that their shoulders right here and their arm is extended, and this is their hand. So like this guy, they got something in their hand as they're doing a ceremony. Like now I'm seeing, oh shoot, wow. A lot. So, okay, I got two cards, two sort of magician vibes going. So, but it says Deep Quiet, in which I was just talking about, like, getting inspiration, which that's, like I said, it comes from spirit, so that is like that term you could hear, or that you can find in the Bible about hearing a still small voice, which is sort of like sitting still, shutting up, and meditating, and getting your mind to, like, quiet down enough so that something else can, like, another thought has room to form, or so that inspiration can make its way in, and then, like, create the inspiration. So Deep Quiet, the subtitle on this is Meditation in Stillness. You know, and speaking of these guys with their ceremonial things they got going on, there's a technique of scrying where you stare at a candle. I have tried, but I didn't understand it very well. When I get candles again, I want to give it another go, but it's basically doing that thing of being in a meditative state, and like, it's less about shutting down exterior noises and things like that, and more about sort of accepting their presence there, and then moving on with your life. Like, yes, somebody in the next lot has chickens that crow at all hours. Like, no matter what time of day, those crazy chickens are, you know, crowing. It's like a counterpoint sometimes to whatever you're doing. And so, but you know that they're there and that they're going to be doing that. And so even if it's a counterpoint to something you're saying or thinking, you're just like, okay, got it. And you just move on back to staying quiet. And that's where, like, maybe the inspiration is the chicken crowing at a time where something clicks. Like, the time that it happens is like synchronous with something you've said or thought, and to me that makes it part of, like, oh, okay, that's part of what's happening too. I should take that as something, but that's just me. They say that a lesson or an exercise to heighten your psychic abilities is to become facile, like to find working with your imagination easy. And imagination is like a key and a doorway to divine creativity, and like you build upon that, and that is, from my understanding, like mediumship, like your effort to build upon your psychic abilities or talents, whatever. So now I have pulled the last time I did a video, I pulled this card, and then I've done a couple of my own just for my own purposes, and this card keeps coming up. So, and yeah, more magicians. Hold on. I got something, but I want to say this first. So, magician sword. It's blazing. A color of light that I associate with spirit and like success. The spirit is there for you, bringing you abundance, like good things. Those are the associations I have with that color light. And this sword is like imbued with it, so it has the power of that light, which, I mean, that kind of comes across as like it gives you, well, it's filled with the power of the light. While you hold it, you also are filled with it. So it's like a totem almost, you know, like your power totem. The subtitle on the card, though, is Confidence in Your Magic. And oh my gosh, so what I was talking about earlier at the beginning about seeing my life and the places where incidents where I've needed help has come up, and I've just been sort of logging the reactions and said like the pleas for help, and it's just been so interesting. I guess I'm not through thinking it through or understanding it or whatever I need to do to process it. I don't think I'm finished, but the trend generally is, and this is sad, if you ask for help, people don't want to give it to you. I'll give you an example. My mom had passed away, but it had been a while, and I had gotten insurance money finally after probate, and so I was on my way to a car lot, and I was driving her Volkswagen Beetle on Laurel Canyon Boulevard in LA, and there's a spot on that road where water trickles downhill and then it crosses the road and it's like all slippery. And this was morning time, so maybe the road was also like dewy as well, but you're not going very fast. There was pretty much traffic, and I was going uphill, and somehow I hit that patch of water, and just like, actually I was coming down, so I was like coming over the hill from the valley down into Hollywood, and I hit that patch, and I slid into oncoming traffic, and then like I ended up stopping in somebody's yard because I ran into their mailbox post, and my Volkswagen, because the road it's really just a little residential street. It's not big and wide. It's 2 lanes, one in each direction. And I think it was a Sunday morning. I don't know why there was so much traffic now that I think of it, but there was. And so I almost hit people as I lost control, and they're screaming and honking at me. No one stopped to see if I was okay. Then when I landed and smashed into these people's posts, it was so early, they were not even up yet. Again, why was there so much traffic? But maybe to illustrate how much people don't want to help you, because I feel like that was the lesson here. I don't know why that's a lesson that I'm still working through, I guess. Like I said, there's still more to be gleaned from the information. But anyway, a little part of my little Volkswagen was sticking out in the road, causing people to have to, either wait for the opposite way traffic to go or to dangerously, dart through there. It was just crazy, but people were mad that I made it happen. It was clearly I had just been in an accident. People are cursing me out. No one's stopping to help. Man. Um, it was crazy. And then, you know what happened is the people whose mail post I, knocked out and was like hung, my car was like stuck to, they came out and they like made sure I was okay, and her husband was able to like get the car off the post because it was like a railroad tie. It was a big hunk of wood, and he was able to get my car out of the road. I think he just pushed it over, and then they like had me come in and have like tea because I had just been in an accident, and let me call the tow truck and wait and that for it. Like it ended up being like a whole experience, and they would not accept that I pay to repair their post. And he's like, oh, I made that thing. I found like the wood and stuck a mailbox on. So I mean, I felt good that I didn't really hurt it too bad. But Laurel Canyon, I've had some interesting, like, driving past the people going the other way, so the driver's like right there next to you. Like one time I look up and it's John Travolta, and I was like, well, okay, that was interesting because it happened so fast. I didn't really get to do much more than see who it was and go, huh, I'm driving. Hollywood is interesting. Anyway, I think I said all of the stuff. Thank you and good night.